everyone. Welcome again to Nomads Media, our lifestyle media for dreamers and visionaries. And of course, this is produced by VideoGaga, the e-learning and services platform for marketing. I'm Carlo Velasco from Nomads Media and VideoGaga, and we have another exciting afternoon. I know it's kind of like an off time right now, but I'm pretty sure that all of you will be able to watch this video after this live coverage. And we're live actually on the Nomads Media channels, on YouTube, and of course on our website, nomadsgaga.com, and of course on VideoGaga on LinkedIn and Facebook. We have an exciting discussion today, learning through business. Of course, as entrepreneurs, we have our highs and lows, our struggles and triumphs and little, of course, successes. And so business is indeed a classroom, right, for all of us. And what better way to discuss learning through business with another entrepreneur or another e-learning entrepreneur this afternoon. She's Raquel Richi. Raquel is actually a fellow entrepreneur in Madrid, Spain, and she's going to share with us her insights about business, of course, about her wonderful platform, Langoo.io, an e-learning platform for language, and also for, of course, for selection, team selection, or employee and student selection. And as a woman, of course, it will be great to get her insights about the role of women in business. And of course, we'll ask her for some tips about how is it to run a startup, right? And I would say a technologically related business. So that's just some of the topics we'll be discussing this afternoon with Raquel. Again, this is Nomads Media. You're watching our lifestyle publication by VideoGaga. Now, without further ado, let me go ahead and bring in Raquel Richi, the CEO of Langoo, the e-learning platform for language and team or employee selection. She'll be able to discuss the project in detail during discussion. Hi, Raquel. How are you?
Hello, Carlo. Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you. Thank you for being part of this interview. And thank you for being one of our VideoGaga Women in business and marketing.
No, it's always a pleasure sharing time with you, Carlo.
Great. Well, as mentioned earlier, of course, we'll be talking about your experience as an entrepreneur handling Langoo, and of course, your career story as well. And then later on, we'll be asking for some tips for some advice from you, something that you can share with other aspiring entrepreneurs, and of course, new business owners out there and managers as well. First, I'd like to ask, I'm sure people are curious, what is Langoo all about?
Well, as you mentioned, Langoo is focused on language learning, but we're not like another e-learning language platform. We are focused on preparing for language certification. Here in Spain, at least, it's very common, as you may know, the need to have a language certification for getting a new job or prepare for a public job or, for getting to the university. So we prepare students for that language certification, and that's the way we started. But during the last year, we start talking with companies, and we deduce that there has different need in companies and schools or high education entities where they need to evaluate the level of the students or the employees. So what we did was to transform our platform into a new tool where we can evaluate in just one click to employees and students to get to know the level of the student and the employee. So, for example, if you want to get into a university here in Spain, at least you need a B2 or a Spanish language or a B2 in English. So we just evaluate these candidates in just like in 1 hour. So the university had the results and can pass or not the student to the academic year. So yeah, we can say we have developed a very technological tool, as we said, and we are using it in both ways, preparing for language certification, but also evaluating employees and students to get into university or some other programs.
Yeah, it is indeed a very useful tool, and a lot of, I mean, in every country, of course, including in Spain, it's very important, right? It's essential to have your language level, foreign language level, I would say,
Well,
tested,
not
right?
sure if, yeah, not sure it is, you know, essential, the certification, but what I'm sure is that companies and educational entities need to verify this level of language. So what is essential for them is to reduce the time they use to get that certification or that evaluation, you know. So normally this is done by some people who try to speak with the student and get some time, because if the student is from Latin America, you know, they have different times, or you know, it's very kind of difficult to evaluate this. So you lost a lot of candidates during this process. So we help them to reduce the time and also be more efficient in all this process. Which I think, well, I know this is very essential for them.
Yeah, and that's where technology comes in, I suppose,
Of
right?
course.
To make it more efficient, faster,
Exactly.
and make them more productive, right? Apart from like going to a usual academy or practice center, they have a technology where they can have their English or Spanish level um, tested, right?
Exactly.
Evaluated. The right term is evaluated. Yeah. So just for instance, in a lot of countries, English, of course, right? English level is very important to be evaluated, right? For not just for foreign students, but also for employees, especially for people who want to work abroad. It's very relevant right now. And we usually go to a center, right? And have it evaluated.
Yeah, that's the process right now. You need to go to a center, take the test, and then wait till you have the evaluation, the formal evaluation, which used to pass like at least 1 month between the taking of the test and getting the grades, which make you lost a lot of time in between. And for example, for companies who are, you know, in a very important process of selection of candidates, 1 month could be a very long term time for them, you know.
Yeah. And usually, well, let's talk about let's first talk about the vision for
Okay.
Langoo. What's your vision now for Langoo? Because a lot of I would say aspiring business owners, they're not aware that you need a vision, right? Of course, for every I would say new business owner, I think that's one of the first things that we think of. What is our vision for a business? How about you? What's your vision for Langoo? Has it evolved in the past few months or years? And yeah, I'd like to know.
Yeah, well, I don't think the vision has evolved, but we have changed the way we get into that vision. So I have always believed that things can be done in a different way. That's what we really do in Langoo. Language certification are a process you need to pass, even if you don't like it. I mean, you need to get that language certification to get that new job. You need to that language certification to get in the in a university. You know, you need to do it. So what we want to help people is to get that big goal. The goal is getting that university, go to study abroad, get that dream job. You know, that's our vision, is help them and make it easy for them to get the goal, you know, to get that dream job or to get into that university they're aspiring for. So we're just making things easier, and that's what we're trying to do, help people to get that dream, you know, and make it faster, make it easy, and make it, you know, at least help them during all the process.
Yeah. So
And that's
I
our
guess much
vision.
more.
Yeah.
Sorry, I guess much more user friendly, I would suppose, because we're since it's online, it's a web platform that people can use easily. Where are you available right now?
In the platform where we're working with B2B and B2C. So we have products for all of them. We help people who want to get into that university, helping them to get that language certification. So you can get it in our platform. You register yourself. You make a competencies test where we evaluate all the 4 competencies you need to know or you need to manage to learn or to validate your language level. And from that, we prepare a personalized language path where you start practicing every day and you get to the goal you are aiming for. You know, for example, if you want to get to the B2, you are a B1 right now, we prepare a learning path for you, a specialized learning path for you. So in 6 months, you can get to that B2. One thing I just want to make sure clear is that we do not teach languages. I mean, you need to know the language. We prepare you for the exam, so that's why we help you get that goal. But we do not prepare you. We don't teach English. I mean, the user is not spending more than 4, 5, 6 months in our platform. You know, that's very it's a very special thing. You know, we help you to get that certification that nobody wants to get it. I mean, nobody get up in the morning and say, oh, let's get that language certification, this is what I'm, you know, want to do today. No, you need to do it. So we help you to get it in a easiest and fastest way, and that's what we do in a B2C model, let's say. And then we help certifications entities, companies that need to validate the language of their candidates or their employees, to pass through this process in a easiest and fastest way too. So what we have done is to create a tool, to create a technology which is able to help both parts in this ecosystem or in this process, the evaluation process.
Very interesting. And of course, you're available in Spain, but can anyone outside Spain access your website and purchase your plans?
Yeah, we haven't tried to go abroad yet. We're planning for it for the end of this year, because we really wanted to validate our platform to see if this is really working, you know, which is it. But yeah, of course, they can access from all over the world, and we help you in 2-3 months to get that language certification. That will help you to get in that university and that dream job. Yeah.
So which certifications do you have currently on your website?
In our website, we are now the Cambridge certification preparation for the first or the advances. We go from A1 to C1. level. And
So
then we
from
have
beginner level
the
to advanced level of
yeah,
English.
yeah, sure. And then we have the DELE exam, which is the formal Spanish certification. And we are now planning to go live with French. We have almost done, but so yeah, in the next month, I think, well, maybe May, we will be live with the French certification, the Alphantal also.
Exciting. So
Yeah.
more, basically more products to offer and more opportunities for people to get evaluated. Let me go ahead and share actually my screen and show people your platform. Let's see if that comes out. Right. So this is Langoo.io. This is where anyone in the world, especially in Europe, can get their language level or certified, specifically for Spanish and English. Um, and then you mentioned the two languages, right? Or two exams that you're evaluating, the
Mhm.
Cambridge. So you have here anyone who would like to have their Cambridge level evaluated. This is the platform to go. And then, of
Well, it
course,
is actually the preparation for. We don't evaluate. Then you have to pass the exam with Cambridge or with the Instituto Cervantes, which is the
yes,
former place to get the DELE. But we prepare you for the exam. Yeah.
preparation for
Yeah,
the
exactly.
test. And so, Cambridge, for everyone out there who'd like to have their English level evaluated, Cambridge is, of course, one of the main exams for English level. And then, of course, the only one for Spanish is DELE, especially since
Mhm.
a lot, as we know, a lot of people are coming to Spain, going to Latin America to live and work and study, of course, right? DELE is actually a useful level or test, language test that would help them for their documents and employment, I would say. Great, very exciting. It's very relevant because I used it obviously when I took my. I used Langoo when I took my Spanish. I would say language test, the DELE, and
Mhm.
indeed very useful. And this helped me find out that I was already more than A2 because in Spain to get a citizenship you only need A2. So basically, I think people are not familiar with the levels, right? I'm not sure if you have more information about it, but I know A1 is the beginner level, right?
Mhm.
And then you have your A2, the intermediate level.
No, the
B1 is,
intermediate is the B.
oh, sorry. A2
Yeah,
is
A2 could be like a low level, but the highest low level that you can get.
okay,
Then the
lower
B is the
intermediate.
intermediate, yeah. And then you have the advanced, which is the C, C1 and C2. Yeah.
C1 and C2 for advanced. So yeah,
Exactly.
when I actually when you were starting out, I tried Langoo, and I found out I was I think advanced B1.
Hmm.
Hopefully, I'm now B2. So B1 again is intermediate, and then upper intermediate is B2.
Mhm.
So yeah, very helpful for a lot of people. But I'd like to know the story behind how you started behind Langoo, and
Mhm.
why did you choose business in this field in e-learning and business. I know a lot of people out there are thinking, aspirants, for example, people who are planning out their businesses. How do I plan or pick an industry? But how about you? How did it begin?
Well, if you're planning something, stop planning because then the results are completely different as you were planning. So, but yeah, even if I've been working in marketing for all my professional life, while I was studying, when I stopped studying, I went to live in France and then into the United States, and there I become an official examiner of the DELE. I participated in the official examinations day in the Instituto Cervantes, and that's where I realized there was a need, for students, but also for teachers, or let's see, official evaluators. I don't know how do you say that, but yeah, because there was a problem. You took the exam and it passed a lot of time until you get the evaluation and the grades, and I was, as I said, I thought this could be done differently, like as I mentioned before, with the vision of Langoo. But this was like 2014 or something like that, and I started with Langoo in 2021. So as you can see, it passed a lot of time between the idea or the thinking, and the actually
Yeah.
the did it become real. But yeah, that's where I started thinking that how could I make things differently. During the pandemic, I started my own digital business, which was preparing for Dele, for people who need some help. They send me their writings and their speakings with an audio, was a voice note, and I correct them, or I give them some tips to pass the exam, but it was all homemade.
Yeah.
And then I just start thinking, why don't this make it real and create a company that can help people to get that exam? And then you start doing one thing, and then you finish with a very technological company where you use AI, which you have never thought that you could use in your life, and you start learning, and this
Yeah.
then you become like, you start thinking that you really can do it differently, because first you have the thinking, the thought, you have a thought, you imagine that you can do differently, but then you start realizing that actually you can do it, like, this is a very emotional, personal, professional, process that definitely worth it. So you're thinking, or you're planning to build a company, stop thinking and start doing, and you will realize whatever it comes after that.
Indeed. Indeed. But when you were starting out, or even before you launched this, has it always been, or becoming an entrepreneur been your, in your plans, or a dream?
Oh, no, 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 no. Because I've always thought that this was very difficult, which is it, but I thought I could never do it. Don't know why. In Spain, it's not very common. At least when I was studying, it wasn't very popular to become an entrepreneur. So I have never in my mind, to become an entrepreneur. Then I start meeting new people, going to different events, and you start thinking, why not? But no, this has never in my mind before.
Yeah.
It was
Part of
just,
the plan.
from one day to another.
Exactly. But when did you realize that, oh, this is something I'd like to do? Starting my own business. Um, and how was that experience like? Oh, really like embracing that realization.
I'm not sure how to answer that question. I don't know how,
Or
when
it
I
just
really
happened.
realized. No, no, no. It's like, one day I just start and I couldn't stop. It's like, I've never thought about it. Like, I really want to become an entrepreneur. I just start doing something and never stopped since there. So it was like, it just start doing things, and one thing brings me another thing and another thing, and meeting new people and meeting new sectors and meeting new companies, and it never stops. But I think that I didn't stop think about how to become an entrepreneur, or if I
Yeah,
wanted to be there. I just enjoy the time, and I've never. I cannot think in a special moment where I realized that I really wanted to become an entrepreneur. It just happened
it just
to
happened.
me.
Yeah, it's kind of like the
Yeah,
flow, right?
yeah,
When you started
exactly.
doing something, it just
Yeah,
developed, and then you realize it's been years that you've been
yeah.
doing it.
I just embrace it, like this is happening, just enjoy, and you will see.
Like what you said earlier, it's not common in Spain, in a lot of countries actually, but even amongst women as well. What important role do you think can women play this time in business, since we're seeing more and more women doing it?
Yeah, I think that women has always been very entrepreneurial, but they did it because they need it. And now what is changing is because they aiming to become like a, uh, because they want to change things. What it
Yeah,
really has changed from a point of view is that the way we're doing it, no? Because there's a lot of women that stop working because they have to take care of their family or whatever, but they start doing, small projects that sells because it's just like a hobby, or and then realize that they could do it for a living, and but it was more in a neat way then, and now we think and we know that we can do it differently, that we can directly do it for a living, and that we can do whatever we propose ourselves. I think women has been always has um, a very entrepreneurial mind, but what we're changing the way we're doing it right now. We're getting more and more exposure, which I think that before we didn't even think about that. It was always in a low profile, entrepreneurial thing, and I think that we're changing the way we're doing.
and I'm sure you have some female figures, your heroes in business. You want to share some of these women you've looked up to, and I would say got inspiration from.
Well, I have always followed to Clara Mindale. Don't know if you ever heard about her. I don't
No.
remember the Mingueza. It's Clara Mingueza. Let me see. No, I cannot tell you right now the name of the company, but yeah, I have always followed. I was working before in the ESG sector, corporate CSR,
Okay,
and
so
she has always, yeah, CSRC has always been a model for me, but I don't really have a big model that I can tell you I have been following for a long time. I have started getting to know more female founders right now, and I really love them because which there's something I really like from female founders, differently than men founders, let's say, is that they share everything, the good, the bad. We
yeah,
cry together, like but
wonderful.
we always push ourselves together, also. But it's more common, I would say, that it's more real for me when the female founders share with you the ups and the downs of the company, because don't know why. It is always because, society and all that kind of stuff. Men tends to, always tell the good things and the beautiful things that they're happening in their company. Female, we are more like real, like, oh, this is shit. Let's
Yeah,
do it differently, how we can change it. And I love that from the
that's
female
good. Yeah,
founders.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
that's
it's
something
completely,
definitely to learn
yeah,
from
yeah.
female founders, female entrepreneurs.
Yeah, yeah. And I learn a lot from those downs and how they pass that downs, and and all the benefits that they got from that downs, and what they learn from them. And it's always, they're very inspiring for me. Female founders are fighters, like,
Yes, yes.
yeah,
And
that's the word for me.
fighters indeed, definitely. And of course, we have female entrepreneurs who are focusing on women's issues as well, and women's, I would say, services and
Hmm.
products specifically for women. And that's really something to admire and to look out for, right? And to support.
Yeah.
Um, uh, when it comes to, I would say, sharing everything. I think it's also the background, right? The of women, right? How they were trained and their perspective. I think it's good that they share something. You share something new to the table, and that's quite exciting.
Hmm.
For some women who are hesitant, why should they? Uh, I would say take the risk and go ahead and join the world, entrepreneurial world.
Because they can do it. I mean, why not? This is, um, why men should take the risk and go into entrepreneur, because they can do it. I mean, even for women, the thing is, we don't believe we can do it. That's what we have been thinking in the past, that was for men, for example. But now we can do it, and it is proved. There is a lot of companies leading by women, and it's getting more and more often. And we can do it, and you should take the risk because you can do it. I mean, and even if you don't know how to do it, that's fantastic, because you are able to learn how to manage that. So just try it. I mean, you have nothing to lose. That's the thing. Maybe women think that we have many things to lose if we try something new, something different. But actually, it's not. It's not like that. You have many things to win, and nothing to lose. And that's the thing. Do it because you can do it, even if you don't know how to do it.
True, true. Well said. And let's talk about a bit more about your career journey. You
Mhm.
were, of course, you were a marketing specialist for different companies, for Alliance Global, for as well as a digital marketing agency.
Mhm.
Um, L Education. Oh no, it's for L Education. Um,
Mhm.
and then, of course, before that, you were an examiner, right? An exam for Dele.
Well,
What
I
have
was an
you
examiner before to become a marketing
before working
specialist.
in
Yeah,
marketing? And I
yeah,
can
yeah.
imagine you're basically applying what you experienced from these businesses, right, into
Yeah, exactly.
what you're
Yeah.
doing right now.
It's because, as I was saying, I've always thought this could be done differently, but I've never imagined I could do it differently. That's why. That's what I mentioned before. That's what I said before. I've never believed that I could do it actually. So
True.
I just in my end this could be done differently. But I've never believed that person would be me.
Yeah,
Making the
yeah.
things different.
And so far for Langoo, for your startup, um, have you had some, or what have been your milestones so far? Because I think for small business owners, they tend to forget that, hey, I actually need to identify milestones and even look further, right? And come up with milestones I'd like to reach. So far, from your perspective, what have been your milestones?
Well, speaking about product, the product that we have is something very special. Well, nobody believes when I start talking in automatize the correction of the speaking and writing exams. when I started speaking with VCs and some other people from the ecosystem, everybody asked me like, but do you really think that AI could correct in a way as a teacher does an exam and a writing or speaking exam? I was like, yeah, it could be. Then ChatGPT get into our lives with GPT-4 and OpenAI, and everybody asked me like, oh, but you will do that with GPT-4. Oh, this was a very jump, very a very big change in the mentality of the people. But at the beginning, nobody could really believe that it could be possible. So the team did a very good job, and we have built a very good, very innovative and very special technology who is able right now to correct writing and speaking exams in just seconds. So this is very impressive for me. I would have never believed that I could be in that position right now. So this is a very big milestone. Another milestone is to really get into the education sector and really make something different, because I know this is not, we're not focusing on language certification, which is very important in the sector, but this technology could be applied to a different, some other material. So we could be correcting law exams, or journalist exams, or why not medicine exams in the future, which is I really think we can make a difference in the sector, in the education sector. And I think that many companies from the edtech sector are focused on how they can help the student into get the knowledge faster or easy ways or more personalized. But we are working with the teachers, we are working with the colleague, with the schools, we are working with the universities, helping them to get more free time to really specialize and focus on what they're there for, the student, and teach the student. So this is something very special for me, because I really think we can do something different. So this is a really good achievement also for us. And I could say that, yeah, I will say that those goals will have been the more impressive for me. Really believe that we can do something big, and actually done it. Like with the product that right now.
Definitely identifying your solution, right, to the problem, and now actually really executing it and making it happen. That's an exciting thing for any business owner. What have been your challenges so far as an entrepreneur?
Well, fundraising is always a challenge, but I think the biggest challenge has been to change my mind, and growing with the company, start doing things from scratch, but always thinking big, but doing very small, because step by step you will get that big dream, but I'm not sure if I could explain this very well, but the difficult for me is always be thinking big, but start doing it from small. Like
it's so much time. So start with small steps, because you have
and this has
you have to start somewhere, right?
Yeah. That has been a real challenge for me, because you need to moderate your dreams with the facts, and put it all together and transmit it to the team and convince them. It has been always a challenge for me. That
it's like on social media.
Sorry?
It's basically like reality versus right?
Totally. Yeah. At the beginning, it was
versus
like,
reality.
yeah, exactly. It's like with AI, now we're correcting with AI, but we start doing it by hand, like with many teachers correcting the exam and trying to see what were the the difference and the similarities between one exam and another, and start thinking how we can automatic that thing, and why this thing and not the other thing, but
Yeah.
you had always in mind the no, one day I will do it automatically in just one click, but you start, yeah, one day, but now I'm correcting by hand with a red
Yeah.
pen in my, like, and it
Yes.
was always different because you always want to be in that future. But and it's hard sometimes to start doing from scratch, something big.
Yes. With limited
So
resources as well, right? You
yeah,
have like
exactly.
such a big, I would say, objective, vision, but you have limited
Hmm.
resources. How can you make it happen? Same with
Yeah,
us at Video
exactly.
Gaga Nomads. We're making it happen because of entrepreneurs and managers like you. This is
Mm.
happening.
No,
Uh,
no, totally. And you have always, okay, I want to get there, but how can I start today with, as you said, no resources, no
yeah.
people, the team that I already have, because I can know hire anymore people,
Mhm.
like that's always a challenge.
Yeah. And as managers, as leaders, we're the most flexible. We can do more things than obviously
Yeah.
our team members.
You need to be flexible. It's like there's no other way. It's like
Exactly.
I've been in some entrepreneurial events, and many people say like resilience is a very good soft skill that you need to get a company, and it's like it's not a soft skill you need to develop. This is a necessity. I mean, you are resilient or you are not an entrepreneur. it's like
Yeah.
it's like there is no other way to be here with this. So, but yes, I think that has been always my challenge,
Yeah. True,
to
true,
traduce that kind of big dreams into small steps to get there.
true. That's really a good one. A good tip, actually. And how would you define now your personal style as a leader and as a manager? Since you mentioned earlier, like, hey, you're encouraging your staff to dream big.
Well, I like to let the people grow itself. I mean, like I can transmit them my vision, and I say, okay, at the end of the year, I want to get here because this is good for Langoo, this is good for us as a company, but help me to get there. So I let them think, I let them build, I let them make some errors, like doing things in a bad way, or even if I think that this could be better in a different way, but I let them take their own decisions. And this has been very helpful for me. I've discovered a lot of potential in the team, and definitely at the end they have demonstrated me that their version was better than mine because they're specialists in what they're doing. I
Mhm.
have only vision of bamboo, and I have I can see from on the top of the company how this can go or not, but at the end they are who are developing or who are correcting or who are
Mhm.
with the clients, who are speaking with the students, and they know what their needs are. So for me that's very very, that's something that I need to trust in the team, but that's something that you can build also with them,
Yes.
trusting them and then learning from the mistakes that they commit, and also helping that not commit that mistake. But I personally like them, let them to make mistakes and try, and inspire me in how to get to that goal that we have proposed all together as a company.
Indeed, indeed. I'm sure a lot of people who are not in the entrepreneurial world would like to know what makes a startup different from other businesses or other types of businesses, in your opinion.
Hmm. Well, I will say startups needs to grow very fast and that's why you need to fundraising, and need to be very scalable, and that's why you also need a very high technology as the core of your company, because this technology will allow you to grow very fast, to learn very fast, and to get the most clients as possible in the less time as possible.
Shorter span of
So I
time.
would say that, yeah, the scalability and the technology are, I mean, the two main points that I think that differentiate an startup from another more traditional company.
Now, what advice can you give first-time business owners, whether it's a startup or any type of business?
I don't feel very comfortable giving advice, because I have this imposter syndrome every time, just behind me. But something that has helped me a lot is always be the CEO you want to be, because you will be learning a lot of advices from many people. Everybody will tell you whatever they think about your company, about how you do you manage your team, how do you manage your expenses, how do you go to the events and do this and you don't do this other thing, and always listen to them, but then you think about your company and be yourself and take the decisions that you will have took without that advice. I mean, like, even if everybody will tell you whatever in every time, all the time they're telling you what to do, how to do, and how to become better. Let's be yourself, because if you're moving into different perspective than yours, this won't work.
Yeah, it's so
Because
true. I can
it's not
attest
true.
to that.
Yeah, it it this that business could be better. That business could be more profitable, but it won't be yours business, and you will not identify yourself with it. And one day this will crack. So even if everybody will tell you whatever, even sometimes the people tell you whatever you need to hear in that moment, even that good things, take a step back, think about it, really make a reflection about it, and take your own decisions.
Yeah.
But from your gut, because if you don't identify with your company, this won't work. I mean,
Yeah, I can attest to that, definitely. It's basically not losing yourself along the process,
exactly.
right?
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
the
yeah.
first you will get so
Learn.
many opinions.
Yeah, learn, evolution. I mean, a lot of things. Change whatever you need to change, whatever you want, you really want to change, but just don't do it because anybody told you. Like, you need to identify
Yeah.
yourself.
Because if you lose yourself and it's not a business you want to manage, you will get tired faster,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, exactly.
And easily, as opposed
Exactly.
to managing a project or a business that you're really confident about and passionate about.
Exactly.
Now, you're also marketing, you have a marketing background. How do you then utilize marketing at Langoo in your business?
Well, we started in a B2C business model. So as you may imagine, everything was marketing in Langoo, but it was very difficult for us because nobody knows us. That's the reality. You
Of
start with
course.
Langoo. Langoo is the best solution you can get to get your language certification. Okay, but nobody's buying you because nobody know who you are. So we started doing paying ads in Facebook, Instagram, blah blah. We started doing, but we suddenly realized that what we really need to do is to create an authority. So that's why we start creating our blog. We start inviting people who really knows about language learning or language certification preparation and all that kind of stuff, and creating content. And that's why we have become more and more, we have become that authority that gave us the
Mhm.
power, to convince people to
Yeah.
try or to prepare with Langoo and not go to a traditional school. So
Yes.
I would say that the first thing that we or a new company should do is to create that authority and use yourself. For example, I've been an examiner of Delhi, but we haven't used that in never in our marketing campaigns and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, that's an authority. I really know the Delhi exam and how to prepare for it. So yeah, I will say that if you're starting a company, start creating that authority for
Authority.
the first thing. Yeah, yeah, even before having a product, even before get a client, start creating
Mhm.
that authority. Even if you are a personal brand or whatever, if I will create a new company, I will start by that. And
So
then, of
basically,
course, networking and creating collaborations with some other companies or some other association or whatever other business that has that authority, and
mhm,
partnership with them, that will help you
partnership.
also to exactly to start building that community that you really need to get that first client. So I will start doing that. And then you have, whenever you have that authority, whenever you have those people who really follow you because you really solve their problems, start doing paying ads and all the things that,
True.
more to spread your word. But yeah, if I will start again a new company, I will start creating a good authority. Right now we're focused on B2B, so the marketing is quite different. We're very
Mhm.
focused on LinkedIn, creating
Yes.
that authority also, but in a different way. No only no focused on the product that we have, but in what we can sell them. So, but
Mhm.
it's kind of difficult, I think more challenging for me is to get to the B2B than the B2C. There
Mhm.
is a lot of people over there selling whatever you need,
Yes.
so it's kind of difficult to differentiate yourself from others.
Yeah.
Not only that, but open that call, like, no, today nobody wants to talk to you by phone. Nobody wants to answer your messaging on LinkedIn. Nobody
Yeah.
wants to take time to listen to you. So it's kind of difficult and challenging for me and for the company to open that closed doors, let's say.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. That's
Any
actually.
advice from you here? I'm glad here.
Wow. Well, of course, you mentioned B2C. For people who are not familiar, basically a business that caters to individuals or people, so business to
Mhm.
customer. And then
Ah,
you
yeah.
have B2B, businesses that are focusing on businesses as their clients. So
Mm-hmm.
business to business. As you've mentioned, right? Build your authority first, and collaborate, partner with other authorities, right? Or thought leaders, I would say, and using that to build your community, whether it's a community of people or community of businesses. I think for B2B, um, definitely automation has helped a lot amongst, I would say, agencies, service providers, definitely using tools to automate your emails. Of course, making sure that it is within the GDPR, the data privacy policy of the region or of your country, should be followed as well. But I would say using automation platform for your messages, they help a lot, especially with emails.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, again, the strategy there is what kind of messages would be more
Yeah.
effective, right, for people to read. What would
Mhm.
they read? That's actually where the difference comes in. Uh, well, it with me personally, what's really worked is to provide something. We always use it in the startup world, freemium, right? And it's worked a lot, not just for me, but also because we have a marketing agency, but also for the clients we work with on social media, on digital marketing. It's really providing your target customer a I would say a free service, a content that they would definitely appreciate, and that's
Yeah.
how you build
Show
the
them the value you can provide them with, right?
yeah, basically the value that basically um, when you give them something for free, then that's the time you add value, and you offer what you can offer.
Mm-hmm.
So it works a lot with our community. Of course, we provide our own seminars or workshops, and of course, we have our courses for marketing and digital skills. And it really helps uh, that we have that, I would say, mission to help people and businesses. I would say elevate their marketing,
Mm-hmm.
or I would say make their businesses more successful through marketing and
Mm-hmm.
digital tools. So we always start with the corporate responsibility. It's actually kind of the reason why we evolved Video Gaga from just catering to content creators, and now it's really like the vision has evolved to really helping, right? So what does that mean? You help people, then we really have to be honest about helping them. It starts with people who can't afford our services, and then you help them, accelerate or go to the next stage. It's the same with businesses, and
Mm-hmm.
then offer them what needs to be paid, right? You offer them your paid services.
Mm-hmm.
That's so far what has worked. You
Yeah,
mentioned
think of
Facebook
it. Yeah.
ads. Yeah, it's timing. Facebook campaigns. When you're not ready, it's not yet time to promote your business on social media because of the noise on social media. Then it's not yet time to do your digital ads.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yeah, I think premium services are, yeah, something that really we need to really consider. Yeah, because I really believe what you said. Just show them how you can help them. They will get engaged with you. So yeah, I think that's really something we need to think about it.
Yes, and you mentioned earlier community. Well,
Yeah,
you're doing it
community.
already, but I definitely agree with you because for us, of course, we as a marketing related platform and also e-learning related platform for marketing, it made so much sense for us to build that community, and we identified the first I would say group of people or segment. It's actually the aspirants,
Hmm.
um, because when we started creating our courses for creators, for influencers like YouTube, now of course we're bigger than that. I would say now we're beyond just content creation. We're tackling even using chat gpt, and TikTok ads, for example.
Yeah.
So basically we started with one group, and that's actually your aspiring business owners, freelancers, people who want to be successful in a specific field. And some of these people don't have businesses yet, right? So that's the first group. It makes sense
Mhm.
for us to provide courses and content that are for beginners. And until now, after more than 2 years, we're still doing that because that's actually the biggest market there is, right? Your beginners, especially for us. So that's helped also building a community of very specific group, and then from there you expand. I would say the actual beginner entrepreneurs, current managers. That would be the extended community, And then, of course, the biggest community, I would say the most, for us, profitable would be the business managers. So business who are looking for marketing services or are looking to train their team. So that's actually the most, I would say, profitable so far for us segment.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. Specialize yourself in one thing and then start growing from that, no? Think in one client and then you will get to know new different people you can help also with your
Yes,
solution. Yeah.
definitely. Wow. It's been an exciting discussion, definitely. But I would say my last question would be, I would say, what's next for you, for Raquel and Langoo?
Well, we would love to definitely try again with the B2C market. Now, with all the experience that we have, we would love to go live in Europe, as mentioned before. Now we are just in Spain. We were, as we said, specializing ourselves in what we was doing and verifying that we were the best one doing it. And that's our next step: going abroad, open our market, and grow big.
Conquer
That's
the
it.
world.
Yeah, exactly. Let's start with Europe and then the world. Yeah.
Yes, Europe and the world. I'm very excited because it's very, as I said earlier, very relevant, very useful now that people are nomads,
Mhm.
moving from one place to another.
Exactly.
Us entrepreneurs ourselves, with the help of digital technology, we are actually explorers, and we can reach different places um,
Mhm.
at the same time. Thank you again, Raquel, for your time. I wish all the best for you and your team at Langoo.
Thank you very much, Carlo. It's been a pleasure being here with you. And good luck also in all your projects. I'm following you very close, so
Same
we will
here.
see.
We're in
Yeah, we
a
will
little
see.
community, right?
Thank you very much for having me here and for sharing with the world about Langoo.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure a lot of entrepreneurs, aspirants, and of course women would get tips and inspiration from this discussion. Have a good afternoon. Thank
And
you,
I
Raquel.
invite them, all of them, to contact me through LinkedIn. And if they have any question or they want to chat with some other, people who is as crazy as they are, here's me. Just feel free to contact me whenever you want, and I'll
Yeah,
be glad.
actually, I'm gonna share it now. Here, they can reach you on LinkedIn, of course. They can also anyone who are interested in. I'm not sure if that's loading there. And anyone who are interested also in language level evaluation, of course, I'm gonna type
Of course.
in the website
Mhm. Of course.
langoo.io.
Yeah.
Great.
Thank you very
And
much, Carlo.
you
Have a
again,
nice
and for
day.
everyone who will watch this, because of course the recorded version of this video will be sent to our participants and students at VideoGaga. So they'll be receiving this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed this as much as I did. And I'll see you in our next session. Bye.
Bye bye.